Hello everyone, welcome back to Skybite Studios, and in this video we are actually going to be doing a movie review, and of course because I am a Transformers channel, it is going to be a movie review of the brand new Bumblebee movie. And today is Friday the 21st, and I came out of a viewing from last night at Thursday at 5:20 p.m. and this movie is hands down the best Transformers movie we have gotten so far. Live action, dare I say, it's best live action Transformers movie we've got so far. And oh my gosh, just this is one of those feel good movies that where you come out of the theater, you're like, I'm sad because I wanted more. I wanted it to keep going. And it's very unfortunate because this is a prequel. This isn't like the actual, like, I guess you could say main line of the movies that we're following, because there's not gonna, I don't think there's gonna be a Bumblebee prequel part 2. It just doesn't make sense, especially with how this movie ends. It leads very well into like the Michael Bay movies, like how this movie ends. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I'm gonna try my best to keep away from spoilers in this review. I'm gonna make a separate video for the spoilers if you guys are interested in that. But yes, I'm gonna keep this one as spoiler free as possible. Yeah, and like I said, the feeling is awesome. I love the movie. I love like the feeling of getting out of it. The plot is, there's actually a plot, and there's the action scenes, as we're used to like with the action scenes in the previous Transformer movies. It's just the plot, or I should say, the action comes first, and we need a reason for the plot to give reason for the action. This one is the other way around. The plot is very much in the forefront, and then the action comes naturally. It doesn't feel forced. We don't get these long, really extended action sequences, and I think that's gonna like pull some people away from this movie, which I don't mind. I definitely noticed it though. There's not nearly as much action in this movie compared to the other Transformers, and that makes sense because this one has the smallest budget out of all the Transformer movies. All of them have like $150 million budgets and above. This one has just $100 million, which is still a lot, but for a Transformers movie that uses a lot of CGI, yeah, that's a pretty short amount. And let me talk about, I guess now, the designs, the robot designs, because that plays part into the budget. It is simplified, but I like it very much so because of it. And we're so used to Bumblebee's face in like a total of 5 movies now. I think his design, especially his facial design, is the best here, and that's what director Travis Knight wanted to emphasize on. He wanted to, since Bumblebee can't talk for like a majority of the movie, we're pretty much reliant on his facial reactions, how he reacts to things, and I think that's done really well. If you compare like the Bumblebee face in this movie compared to the previous movies, you can see that it's simplified. There's a lot less moving parts in there, and I like that. It makes him look actually cuter, and they made his eyes look bigger, which makes him look younger, which is weird because clearly in this movie he is an adult. At like, I guess if there was a human age equivalent, he's at least in his 20s, but he's still adorable. And yeah, while we're on the topic of robots, there are a handful of robots in here. It's called Transformers, I know, but there's not too much robots. It's in the trailer, so I guess I could talk about it. In the Cybertron scene, there are more Autobots and Decepticons shown in there, obviously, other than Bumblebee. But it's very much a human story again, but the human story is done so much better here, and I won't reveal the other robots in this video that are seen in this movie, even if you've seen the trailers, just in case it might be a spoiler. But yeah, Bumblebee, it's amazing. He has one scene towards the end of this video that draws inspiration from Iron Giant, which a lot of people kind of compare it to, and E.T. I think it's closer to Iron Giant, well, because it's a robot. But there's a scene near the climax of the movie that's just amazing, scary, amazing. But yeah, in terms of that, now we're gonna move on to the humans. Charlie is the main human, and I think it's funny that her name is derivative from Carly from the original G1 series, and they can't use the name Carly because they already used it on Rosie Huntington-Whiteley's character in Transformers Dark of the Moon. So I like how they went around that. But yeah, I think she did an amazing job in the tearjerker scenes especially, and that's something that's unexpected in this movie. It is a tearjerker movie. I took my girlfriend to this movie. She doesn't really like Transformers. She's only ever seen the first one, and as you would expect, she was kind of bored through it. There was plenty of action, but she's not very action-y. She likes action, but not when it's like just the whole movie. Like, she wouldn't watch the Expendables with me. But yeah, she came out crying in this movie. I actually saw her cry 4 times, and admittedly, I cried in this movie. I'm gonna admit it. There goes some of my masculinity, but who cares? I'm already locked down with a girlfriend, so no one else to impress. But yeah, this movie, you don't really expect it to be a tearjerker, but it is. And I'm not ashamed to say it. And especially towards the end, you'll see, even if you didn't cry, you'll know which parts I'm talking about if you've already seen the movie. But yeah, that's why it's so good. And part of it is the human characters, which is Haley Steinfeld, and she has a family dynamic. The family moments in this movie are kind of slow, but they are necessary in this movie as character moments. I did want, whenever I saw the family moments, I was just like, so where's Bumblebee? Which is not necessarily completely a bad thing, because I just wanted to see Transformers, but when they were on screen, it wasn't cheesy. Even the child actor in there, I forgot his name. His name is, the character name is Otis. His acting wasn't cheesy. It was actually pretty acceptable, and he had a good crowd pleaser laughing moment in the kind of in the climax of the movie. And I apologize if you hear a train in the background. Yes, I live near a railroad track, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, the acting is really well done with all the human characters. Oh, well, we'll say John Cena is so-so. Because some of his acting moments, he's good, like in other reviews that they have said, he's good at the comedy moments. And in terms of seriousness, you can't really take him seriously all that much, so it's accidentally funny when he's trying to be serious. I think he just needs more experience as an actor. To be honest, the only other movie I've seen John Cena in where he's acted is the Fred movie that came out on TV years ago. So yeah, not really a good platform to be jumping from. But yeah, I'll say, like, all the human characters except John Cena did really well. John Cena did okay for what he's given. I don't think he was good as a villain. If he was given another character, I think it'd be completely fine. But I think the fact that he's a villain and he's the forefront, it was kind of, I don't know, an issue, not an issue. But everyone else, especially Haley Steinfeld, did fantastic. Now, I'm looking at my notes here so I don't go all over the place. Now I'm gonna talk about, like, speaking of John Cena, the awkward humor in this. That's not really prevalent here as compared to the Michael Bay movies, like the adult humor. There is no adult humor in this as far as I can remember. There's not even that many curse words. I could remember maybe one curse word said by Haley Steinfeld, which is not, it makes sense. It's like she's exclaiming something out of fear, and then one damn it, and then that's it. There's no F-bombs, no B words, none of that. So this is definitely the most kid-friendly out of all the Transformer movies. And yeah, and I think that kid-friendliness kind of contributes to, like, the even tone. There is a consistent tone of what this movie wants to be, and that helped with the Rotten Tomatoes scores. I know not everyone should listen to Rotten Tomatoes scores, but I feel like nowadays where people care about other people's opinions, and unfortunately, it does have a 98%. As of today, Friday, 8 a.m. in the morning, it has a 98% Rotten Tomatoes score, which is amazing for a Transformers movie, because I think the highest one is 70% for the first Transformers, and originally they had an 80%, but then the more Transformer movies that came out, the score lowered. So it says a lot when a lot of these critics are the same haters of the original Transformer movies, and they're giving this a positive score. Never has a Transformers trailer bragged about their Rotten Tomatoes score until now, and it's well deserved. Yeah, so going from the fan base, going from actual moviegoers, for critics, they're all pretty much recommending this movie, and I hope this movie really does well, because this movie is what is supposed to catapult the Transformers cinematic universe. And because the Last Night, that was supposed to be like the one that catapulted it, but it didn't do so well, so we're all relying on this Bumblebee movie. And I hope that because of this movie, they were able to experiment with the Cybertron scenes, and they can give us a Cybertron prequel, which was rumored. There was supposed to be, I think, rumored 2 movies that would be Cybertron prequels. And with this, I hope they title it after video games. War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. That would be amazing prequels, and I think the scenes here, they look amazing on Cybertron. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. Now talking about the action in this movie, it is really well choreographed. It's not a shaky cam. There's I'd say one tracking shot, like one long shot of action that we saw in the trailer that we kind of like. I really like those kind of scenes in the Michael Bay movie where it's just one long shot of action without cuts. We also see that a lot in Joss Whedon's Avengers movies. But it's more like hand-to-hand and technique combat. Like, it kind of reminded me of the scene in Infinity War, how Thanos and Hulk would fight, or that short fight scene where actually Thanos beat up Hulk, where it's very like concentrated blows and it's not messy. There's some melee in there. There's some like street brawling looking kind of moves, but it's very like technique driven, and it looks really, really awesome. And it helps that with like the simplified look of these Transformers in this movie, there's not a lot of gears flying. There are some gears, but it's not nearly as much as like Michael Bay's, where it's just like everything flying out of like everywhere, so it's hard to see what is going on. No, this one is simplified. It goes like straight to the point. The camera is like, it's stable. It moves around, but it's not shaky, so it's easy to see where everything is, and it helps with the color of the Transformers. Everyone has a unique color scheme, so it's easy to see which body part belongs to which Transformer, especially with Bumblebee, where he's yellow, he's bright yellow compared to like when he fights like Dropkick or Shatter, who are like distinctly blue and red. So it really does help even in the night scenes where they're in. And yeah, that is it. My overall feeling, like I said, coming out of this movie is I didn't know I was gonna cry. It was really, really that good. And my girlfriend, who doesn't like Transformers, I have a Transformers collection, clearly, as my channel is a Transformers review. I kid you not, she came out of this movie saying, I want a Bumblebee toy. Just give me like another version of the Bumblebee toy you have on your shelf. And I was like, that's the effect that this movie has on people. Making a non-Transformers fan, almost a Transformers hater, want a Bumblebee toy. That's what it does. And like I said, I really hope this movie does well. I hope it goes maybe 500 million or more, like at the box office, because I think this movie deserves it. Out of all the Transformers movie, this is definitely the difference in feeling. And oh, I need to mention Travis Knight. Travis Knight, the director of this movie, thank you. It's not exactly the Transformers movie we want, because there's obviously a lot of human characters, but what you given us with the Cybertron scene, what you given us with this movie, I thank you. Please be the Kevin Feige of the Transformers cinematic universe. Please do it. If anyone's qualified and if anyone's earned the respect of fans and moviegoers and critics, it is you. Please lead the Transformers cinematic universe. Please direct as much films as Michael Bay has in the Transformers series, because I would love to come out of the movie theater with all the future Transformers movie with the feeling I had in this movie. So please come back. But anyways, that's about it for my discussion on the Transformers Bumblebee movie. If you like this movie, please let me know. And just because this is a spoiler-free review, please try to stay away from spoilers in the comments. And yeah, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Transformer reviews, Transformer movie reviews, and other movie reviews maybe in the future. This is Sky by Studios signing out. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.